Hi, this is Dave Chenault with Skylight Systems, and in this video I'm going to walk you through SideKick365 xRM Pro. I want to show you all the major functionality that we've built into the product and also discuss how it can be used to help you simplify both managing all the information around your sales and the sales pipeline itself. So let's get started. What you'll notice is that when you take a look at the main page in SideKick365 xRM Pro, you're going to see a list of all the tasks you've been assigned and all of your opportunities that are open to you. And if you take a look at the headers in each of these columns, you'll notice that a little arrow pops up. This is great because what it is it's actually an ability to sort and filter things based upon what's important to you. So out of the box, it's going to have all the open tasks and opportunities, but you can easily say, I want to see just the A limousine service tasks because that's what I'm working on now. And when I want to clear it out, I just go ahead and select that as well. You'll see this capability in nearly every drop down that we've got on these column headers. And here you can see all the different opportunity accounts that we're working with. All these accounts have an opportunity that's active at this time. Now we've built a demo for you that has a lot of data in it. We have 500 accounts, over 1,500 contacts, and around 500 opportunities loaded into our demo so that you can see how SideKick works with a lot of data loaded into it. You don't have to sort of guess how it would work and what the speed will be. You can see it because it's live in Office 365 and ready for you to try out. Okay, so let's look at the main functionality. On the left-hand side, these are the modules in SideKick, and they're pretty self-explanatory. Everything from accounts all the way down to documents. The only one that's a little unusual is categories. And we use this list to help identify what kind of documents you're storing in the system. It's just a way to attach metadata to a file to help you find it later on. We also have a number of reports built in, and we're expanding these all the time. So if I wanted to, I could say, let me see a list of the pipeline right now. When you click on that, you're going to be brought to a new screen that's going to ask you to select the year that you want to see the report for. And let's go ahead and do that. I'll do that for 2013. You'll see a little wheel turning here, and it'll go ahead and build a report for you that'll show you your pipeline. We've got a lot going on in October. Let's take a look at the pipeline by owner. The same way, we're going to take a look here now. We'll have a drop down. I'll pick the year 2013. You'll see the little wheel, and then we'll see the list of opportunities by month that are going to be closing in the upcoming year. So you can see we have most things as we guessed, and I can see that Alan Steiner's in second place with Cassie Hicks in the lead. There's a couple other reports here as well that you can take a look at. Let's take a look at the accounts. Now on the accounts module, you're going to see we have about 500. Let's take a look and see what we store about each of these. While it's coming up, if you notice there was a phone number there, and you can actually click on that if you've got integrated voice so that that number is active and you can make phone calls right from your computer. Now what I have here on this screen is the main information about this account, and we have a concept called a main contact. This is the person you're going to deal with most of the time, and we have a little plus minus here so that it's very easy to get more information and make phone calls, etc. to this person. We also list the opportunity, the tasks, the notes, documents, and contacts about this particular account. So if I take a look, let's go through these quickly. On the notes, this is interesting. We've got an ability to have a hyperlink in this particular note. So I could say, hey, I met this guy in Las Vegas. Let me see what Yelp thinks about this company. The link is active, and I'm able to click right on it. It'll then take me to Yelp. And when Yelp launches, I'll be able to see information about this account that maybe I didn't know about in any other way. And I can share this with other people in my company. So we're just waiting for Yelp to come up. When it comes up, you'll see information about ABC Locksmith that I wasn't aware of before. And it's just taking a little while here with all the recording I'm doing. Okay, so here's information from Yelp. It's just a nice hyperlink that goes out quickly for us. Now I'm going to come back into our demo site and take a look at the other tabs I'm working on. So I have documents, contacts, tasks, etc. Let's look at the opportunities. When I come into my opportunities for this account, I can see that I have 2 listed. And let's take a look at this opportunity 1 that Alan's working on, and it's for around $4,000. Now when I come in here, I can see I've got 2 notes on this with 2 tasks and 7 documents. The way it works is, in the account, we roll up all the notes and documents, tasks, etc. from each opportunity underneath that account. But you can also attach tasks, notes, documents to just the account. So when you drill into an opportunity, you're going to see very focused information. When you're in the account, you're going to see more general information about any documents surrounding that account, any notes surrounding that account. In the opportunity, they're specific to that opportunity itself. Let's look at the documents. I go ahead and click on that, and I can see I've got scanned manuals, I've got Excel spreadsheet, different emails, etc. And how do you get these in? Well, scanning is pretty evident. You have to have a scanner hooked up, and we've got some great videos showing you how to scan in information. The main thing I want to talk about here is that all the words can be searchable. You can turn all that dead paper into very active and searchable content for your sales pipeline. If I look here, there's a word CASM. That's kind of an unusual word. And I'll explore how searching works in the system. What I've done is I've scanned in a user manual into the system and associated it with this particular opportunity. So now when I come back and type in the word CASM, I'm going to be able to find scan documents, tasks, anything that's in the system really associated with this particular opportunity or document that has those letters CASM in it. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to click on the home page. Now I can search everywhere. And what I'll see is I'll type in CASM and I'll do my search. And what happens is I can see there it is. It's inside that manual. There's one in this opportunity 1. I've scanned the manual a couple times for various demos. If I come into it, I just go ahead and click, and it'll launch that manual for me right out of the system. And up it comes, and I can actually use my binoculars here to go ahead and find the cases of that word right in the system. So it's coming up here, and I can type CASM, search for it. And there it is, CASM. There's just the one place that it's got it. Let's see if it's another spot here, if it finds it. Okay, so we'll go ahead now and go back into the system itself. Okay, so now let's take a look at opportunities and how do I add an opportunity into the system. It's very simple. All you do is you select from the left-hand side, add a new, and the red stars mean that these are required. Now, I have a little button here for select, and I'm going to explain that in just a second. Let's put in an opportunity and say new one. And the status is going to be whatever you need it to be. These can be modified as you need. So I'll go ahead and leave it at first contact. That's fine. My probability can be how much a chance I think of having to close this deal. And then the amount is just how much it's going to how much I'm going to sell it for. So I'll leave it at $454. That's fine. Now on the account, if I go ahead and select, what I'll see is a list of all the accounts in the system. And I can search through those, or I can just pick from the list here and say I want to associate this with ABC Lock. And I can do the same for my contacts. Remember, I have about 1,500 contacts in the system. In this case, I'll look for anyone with the letters THE starting in their name. And let's see what we have. Okay, so let's do TH. There's nobody like that. So let's see what we can find. Okay, there's this guy, Anthony Thuroff, and I'll associate him with the account. Okay, so now I have it. If I click here, I can see all the information about him. And when do I think it'll close? If you notice, you can select here in the upper right to move forward or backward in the top left. And you pick a date. And then my comments will be, I hope it closes. Okay, now I've got a new opportunity called New One for ABC Lock. Let's go ahead and save this. Now it takes just a minute to put it in the system, and when I go to my account in ABC Lock and Key, I should see a new opportunity, and you can see it's also listed here on the front page, and it's going to be 11/22/2013 is when this will come up. So let's look at it a couple ways. One is I'll go to New One, and my new opportunity will come up here in just a second. And it doesn't have any tasks or documents yet, but I'll show how to add those in a minute. And I can see information about the account by clicking here. And when the account comes up, I should now see 3 opportunities listed with it. And there they are. And I can just click here to see all of them. Now notice there's 9 documents at the moment underneath account. And when I click on opportunities, I'll see that new one listed right here, and I'll go ahead and click on that. Okay, now let's go into Outlook and say I wanted to save an email into that new one. So I have the SXDS3000 WAN, and I want to store information about that up into that new one. So I go ahead and click here. And what it'll do is, when I'm in the email, it'll then present me with a list of opportunities and accounts. So here are my accounts on the left, and the opportunities associated with each account change as I click through them on the right. See that? So I'm going to go ahead and put this email into new one. And the integration we have with Excel, Word, PowerPoint works just the same way. You just go to the add-in, and then you can see it listed. So let's go back now, refresh this page. And what I should see is there's one document listed now with this opportunity, and it's that email. Now let's go ahead and open that up. And there it is. There's my support ticket. Now in about 10 minutes, this will be searchable because there's a crawler running all the time in SharePoint Online behind the scenes. And all these terms I'll be able to find in about 10 minutes by doing a search. The great thing is everyone on my team now can share these important emails, voice messages, records of phone calls, etc. that I'm doing with Outlook. Okay, let's go back to the account. And we'll look at a few other things. Let's take a look at the contacts. Now in the contact screen, I've got a lot of information about this person. If you notice here, if I click on the phone and I've got integrated voice here, let's see what happens. So it takes just a minute, and what will happen is Link should fire up and present me with the ability to dial that number right here in this computer. So it's just thinking about it now. It'll take a minute. And here it comes. And what I'll be able to do then is if I click here, it would actually dial that phone number. Now this is very interesting because look what it's doing over here in Outlook. When I go into Outlook and look at my conversation history, if I'm using integrated voice, what you'll see is I'm going to have a record of all the phone calls that I'm either making or that are coming into me, and also voice messages, etc. that I'm working on. So now I could take this particular phone call, let's say it's this one, I have an outgoing call, and I could save the record of that outgoing call right into that opportunity. So let's go ahead and put it in new one and upload it. So I hope you're starting to see that the rich capabilities of this product, we can do voice, we can do email, we can do scanning, we can do all the Office products as well. And the idea is that we're trying to get it organized and put in a place where it all makes sense. So let's look at opportunities again. And we'll see if I have a record of that phone call under new one. And this could be extremely useful for you. Sometimes you're going to have questions about, well, when did you last call that person? Well, here you go. You can see there's an outgoing call, and if I click on it, I can see all the details about it. When was it made, etc. Right? I can see all that information. It was Monday on the 9/23. Okay, so let's look at a few other things. We have tasks, and these tasks can be assigned and associated with an opportunity, an account, etc. We have the documents that I have been throwing into the system. I can get a nice view of them here. And I can do a sort, a search, etc., just like I showed you on the other lists. So let's take a look at the documents. And they'll come up in just a second. And I can use my filtering to say, hey, maybe I want ones for just opportunity 1. Or the new one. So I can just select this header, and what you'll see is it'll grab all the different opportunities and filter for me. I'm going to go ahead and clear that out. Or maybe I want to see 2. Maybe I'm working on a couple. So now all the ones for opportunity 4 and 3, and I can also sort just by clicking on the header. So very powerful, and this is all available to you to use right out of the box. Now the last thing is a little bit about if you need to customize it to your needs. So let's take a look at this view. And since we build this on SharePoint, here's a great capability. Watch this. When I select an item in the list, and I select this little ... I can say I want to modify this view. And maybe I don't want to show the column modified, and I want to show some other column. So let's get rid of modified, and let's put in something here like the title, just for kicks. And I'll say OK. Now what you'll see is there's no value in there, but I've gone ahead and entered in a different field, and I took out that modify column. Let's go ahead and modify it again with something that'll make a little more sense. So I can modify it. We'll take the title out, and this time let's see if I can put down created by. And now the last column should have who put this information into the system. Modified it, who actually created it, which maybe you want to know. So very useful. And the other thing to notice is on the ... I've actually got different views here. So you can make a new view, store it, and then have that available later on. You could say, hey, I want a view that just shows, let's just make something up here. It'll take just a minute. And I'll do maybe the document type and maybe the title of it. So let's go take a look here. So I've got the type, the name, the modified, and the category, and that's all I want on this view. And I'll give it a name. I'll call this one Dave. You can call it whatever you want and say OK. It can be a personal view that only you see, or a public view. Now here's that view, not too exciting, but let's see what it looks like when I come in and view it here. So I'll go back to the main page, go into my documents, and you'll see that I have that new view called Dave. Okay, so that's how you make new views, and you can go ahead and add in subtotals, etc. If you know SharePoint at all, you'll understand the power of this. Okay, so I think that's enough to get you started. You can go ahead and add in additional content if you want. The last thing is I'll go to Accounts, and I'll show you how you add information from within an account or an opportunity. Let's say that you were here, and you're in the Notes section, and you want to add a new one. Just click on the New Item here. And you'll notice what it does for you is it fills in the account automatically. So just make sure that you put in whatever is required with a red star. And then the select works the same way as you expect. Here's different opportunities for that particular account, right? So it's pretty useful. Or you don't have to put it in. It could be just for the account. Let's put it in with opportunity 1. Just click on the line anywhere. And I'll give it a title, and I'll say Invite to Christmas Party. And now I'm going to, if there's any notes that you want to put in, you could say perhaps what type of gift you want to get. Get a nice gift. Okay, and let's save this. Now I have this Invite to Christmas Party. I could have put a link on there on the note, but when I come into my notes, I can see now that it's Invite to the Christmas Party underneath this opportunity. And let's go to the notes list. And if I look here, I can see that it's underneath account opportunity 1 and Invite to Christmas Party. All of my notes for all my accounts and opportunities are here, right? So I hope that you've seen the power of the system. I hope it helps you understand how it might fit in with your business. And remember that we're making changes all the time. We're constantly updating this. If you have some ideas or requirements we haven't thought of, go ahead and give us an email at info@skylightsystems.com. And that's all one word. It's SKYLITESYSDEMS.com. This is Dave Chenault with Skylight Systems.